importance of effective science communication and its role in our society has come to light through various ways since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic gave rise to a certain infodemic simultaneously. Social media started teeming with all kinds of scientific and medical advice, even from people who were probably not experts in the field. That is when Scicommers had to take up agenda, like spreading proper scientific awareness, do's and don'ts concerning precautions, and science education, to make people understand that ingestion of cow dung and cow urine would not ward off the coronavirus, for example. Of the many science media collaborations working in this direction in our country, ISRC, Indian Scientists' Response to COVID-19, did an exceptional job. Spoorthy Raman, Managing Editor at Research Matters, has played a key role in spreading multilingual scientific awareness as a part of the Science Popularization Team of the ISRC, along with various leading scientists and science journalists of the country. Spoorthy was also a recipient of the EurekAlert Fellowships for International Science Reporters 2019 and was awarded Merit Prize in the Asian Scientist Writing Prize 2017. Our next segment is a video message we received from Spoorthy Raman, congratulating our team in this new endeavor and emphasizing on why science communication through video platforms can be an extremely effective tool in a country like ours. Spoorthy Raman is a special friend of Team Cogito. Her recommendations and feedback have had great impact in the way Cogito 137 is shaping up over the last years.
Hello and congratulations, Team Cogito. It is very heartening to know that you have broadened your horizons to kind of start a YouTube channel that focuses on Scicomm. It is very heartening for two reasons. One, that science communication is now taking shape and moving beyond just writing, beyond text into various other medium, and that is a trend that we are seeing across the world, right? So in India, for example, science communication through video is the need for the hour because it's a very engaging platform. Video we have seen with platforms like TikTok, etc., where it has a very captive audience. It's a medium where people love to watch, and there is a strong message you can send on science to a lot of audience who may or may not be very good with words, may or may not be able to write and read. Nevertheless, video is a platform which can touch all of these. So great job, congratulations on this, and I hope to see a lot of success with this venture of yours. The other thing which I would like to talk about, considering why such an initiative is necessary today, is the pandemic that we are living through. Nothing like this was ever imagined, so to say, in a lot of our minds until this really struck us. It has struck us really hard for a variety of reasons. But throughout the pandemic, 8 months down, if you just go back in time, throughout the pandemic, one thing that has really stayed relevant to people in helping them understand how this is evolving, in understanding how this small virus is kind of taking a toll on everybody's lives, in not just making people ill or unfortunately causing deaths, but also our connections, social interactions, economies of big countries, including ours, has broken down into shambles. At this critical juncture, the only thing that can provide us answers with is science. Without science, it would have been very hard for us to understand what this whole disease is about, what the virus is, what can be probable medicines that we could think of, even development of vaccines. All of this depends on science, and it's very nice to know that you are putting a lot of effort into bringing science communication, taking the science that you're talking about to the lay public in yet another medium, that's video, and through your venture under Cogito's umbrella, which has seen a lot of success since the time it started. So congratulations again for that. And I would also like to point out that we live not only in a pandemic, like the great people have already said, and I'm just repeating this, is that we are living through an infodemic. There is a lot of information that is around us about this pandemic. Unfortunately, most of it is also wrong. A lot of it is also myths. So when we started, when India's first volunteering, a completely volunteering opportunity in trying to kind of spread information about this pandemic started, which is the Indian scientist response to COVID-19, and I'm a member of that as well. So when that started, there was a lot of questions that the team kind of had to address in terms of the hows and whats of the pandemic. What should I do? How should I go shopping in these times? How is the virus going to affect me? How do I contract disease? How do I not contract disease? What do I do about it? How do I clean myself? All these questions were asked, and genuine questions. People were really concerned, and the scientists really did make an attempt to answer them, and that kind of communication to a lot of extent was successful in kind of guiding people. But what really stood out is also the amount of miscommunication, or rather misinformation, that existed in the society. For example, eating a particular plant extract, or eating or drinking salt water, gargling throat with salt water was all thought to kind of help people get rid of the virus. And in the process of this, following this kind of misinformation that's not really backed with science, people have gotten into trouble. People have gotten themselves into trouble, and people have gotten others into trouble. And in a society like ours, where the literacy rate is not as much as we would like it to be, plus where access to information is not as easy as one could have. So a lot of it is in a language that the majority does not speak. A lot of information that's out there is in the form of text, where a significant proportion cannot read or write. So in this context, having a medium that is language agnostic, literacy agnostic, is a great step, I would say. So in that direction, I would say this effort of yours in bridging the science and the society, not just pertaining to COVID-19, not just pertaining to one aspect of science, but in instilling the scientific temper, in helping people ask the questions, the right questions of the how, why, what, when. It really helps the society become scientifically literate, I would say, and ignite their curiosity, and eventually that would help people to evaluate a particular fact, whether that is true, false, plausible or not, and then make decisions, or rather an informed decision for themselves, whether to use a drug or not. What is the evidence that this is based on? These are questions that people have to be increasingly thinking in the current times. And if people are not doing that, I think we as a society will definitely fail, and scientists and the scientific community and the community of science communicators would have to face the truth that we have failed in our job. While that is not something we want to do, we should also really think about how do we get closer to the society in a way where society really accepts whatever is being said, also with questioning, even though it's coming from scientists, so that everything that they absorb is true and helps them sieve through information. In that context, I would say your venture of taking science to the society in a platform that is engaging, or through a platform that is engaging in a manner that will also, I hope, is going to be engaging, is a peacetime effort. You cannot do all these efforts when tragedy is already stuck. So we have probably missed the bus of science communication to a big extent on the pandemic, but of course this may not be the last pandemic. We never know, considering whatever we've been doing to the nature around us. So if at all things go really bad eventually in the future, perhaps we as a country will be better prepared to face it in the the adversity that this whole endemics, pandemics, epidemics kind of bring on us. And it could be, science is something that will touch our lives every single day. It may not just be limiting to the pandemic that we are facing in. And I hope this great effort of launching a YouTube channel to bring science closer to the society in a very interactive way will be rewarding for the team who is doing this, because that's very important, and the passion and the drive that all of you have shown so far with the rise of Cogito, I'm sure will continue with this endeavor. And I hope that through this you will be successful in engaging a lot of people, because eventually science communication is as successful as the amount of engagement you can create. And I hope you will take into consideration all of these and create a big dent with your new venture. With that, I wish you all the best and congratulate the entire team once again for this wonderful thought, wonderful effort, and wonderful execution. Thank you.